On, let's do this. All right, today's morning moron has to do about a woman taking the number 2. Okay, now normally this isn't a situation that I would, put on blast and put morning moron. And I'm not talking about any of your friends, that may post selfies in the bathroom being like, I know what you just did, and you look 5 pounds lighter. So good on you. All right. But okay, here's the situation. There was a 47-year-old woman who went into a gas station. And those beer coolers that they have where you walk in and you pick your beer, right? She walked in. She kind of set up like a homemade commode of 24 packs, dropped her pants, and dropped a deuce right there in the beer cooler. Now, if you're thinking...
Like made a Natty Ice toilet?
Yeah, Natty Ice toilet, Whoa. Right? Now, I could imagine it's probably like, pretty cold on the buttocks. Maybe it's refreshing, because there are heat waves happening all over the country.
Right.
And you're thinking, okay, this is pretty ratchet, probably like drug-addled type of behavior. But it wasn't. And here's where it gets a little bit weird. The woman in question, the 47-year-old, is actually the director of food and nutrition at a school district in southeast Pennsylvania. And she was arrested the other day for defecating in the store's walk-in beer fridge. So what happened was, and it's all caught on video, and I have a photo to share with you as well, because I know you just...
of the deuce?
I was going to say, the poo-poo?
No. We would get banned on YouTube if I showed that. So she walks into the convenience store, right? And then she goes right into the refrigerator with the big sign that says Beer Cave. Walked in, pushed a case of beer out of the way, pulled her pants down, dropped her deuce on one of the shelves, and then went back into her SUV and left. And it happened around 5 p.m., but the store didn't call the cops till 9:30 the next morning.
Well, it's cold in there. It's probably not going to smell as bad, I guess.
Maybe. Just imagine going in there like, what am I going to drink tonight? What the hell? Now, also, the entire front wall of the walk-in fridge is glass, so she didn't have much privacy in there, but she's probably a pretty quick pooper. Camera inside, the fridge also caught it on video. All right. And police didn't reveal a motive, but they did say that it caused about $80 worth of damage to merchandise. They had to toss that.
It's like 3 boxes.
Yeah. And now she's facing charges for open lewdness, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct that created a hazardous, physically offensive condition. And the place does have bathrooms, by the way, right next to the beer cave. So that's where the mystery goes. And
do you have any clues? I mean, do you have any theories on that? I think she probably dated the guy that was like the beer distributor and knew he'd be like delivering to that one.
That's a good theory.
Maybe.
I mean, honestly, I think detectives need to think outside the box for this one, because as far as it being like an emergency, she only lives a mile from where it happened.
Yeah.
Right. So she was close enough to go home to handle her business or just go into the bathroom in question. But to do it in the beer cave is literally a party pooper for everybody involved.
That's hallowed ground, man.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like retaliation of some kind.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe she's just one of those people that like to do a poop and run. That just seems to be a thing.
Is it a thing?
It's a thing?
I think it's a thing.
Is it a Tucson thing?
I don't... Yeah, it happens
Not
here.
at my quick trip, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, okay, being a poop and run type person, party pooper, or whatever you want to call it, pooping in a beer cave definitely is a party foul, and doing so is going to make you a morning moron. All right, we are live here on the podcast broadcast, getting all situated. Please welcome back Kendall. Good morning, Kendall.
Hello, Governor.
All right, now you can center up here, because I know that we squeezed you over because we had guests for the Centurions. Also, I'm going to have Chrissy from Tucson Doobie in. I forgot. Oh, she's here. Oh, shit.
Scoot back over.
Yeah, scoot back over.
Okay.
And then, Rico, can you grab her real quick? I'm so sorry. And then as we get situated with Chrissy here, I have other stuff that we're going to talk about. Now, Chrissy's in because she's with Tucson Doobie and, of course, got the 420 event. So we're going to be talking about the 420 event, which is actually on 419. So we're going to be having that. And
420 Eve.
Yeah, 420 Eve. And now what I love about that is it goes from 2 to 8 p.m. So I love an early stoner event where I get a bunch of free stuff. And yeah, and this is pre-Roadrunners game. So I'm going to be there from like 2 to 4:20, and then I'm going to go. But first, I want to say this podcast is brought to you by Express Loyalty. Express Loyalty. I want to shout out Kendall's boss, John. and John and
You say my boss?
is it not? Oh no, your boyfriend. Your boyfriend. Sorry, I thought it was your boss for a second.
I guess I'm his property. I didn't
No,
know
no.
that. Yeah.
So Kendall's boyfriend, John, who, obviously heard the story of, my car being ransacked and all my cologne being stolen, right? And this sweetheart of a man, right?
Absolute
Wrestling
angel.
fan who's a fellow Colt Cornet fan, which is something that only like hardcore nerds know, which him and I are exclusively in that club. He said a phrase and I'm like, Cornet? So yes, he bought this cologne for me to help me reload, and I thought that was the sweetest gift possible. It was so fantastic.
Yeah.
So
We can't have a stinky beef roaming around.
no, and you usually don't, and that's the thing. It's like I usually smell okay ever since I quit smoking cigarettes, right?
Right.
But I have good body wash. I do good deodorant. I don't necessarily have BO, so to speak, but it's always good to have a little scent of cologne. In fact, I'll have Chrissy. Chrissy, come here real quick before you get on camera. Yeah, you smell me. Yeah, judge it because I don't know because I'm not good at this. So,
Does this cologne
that's
match
good.
beef?
do I smell good?
Yeah, that smells good.
Is it
It's
age
manly.
appropriate scent?
It's manly.
It's manly, but not like too old.
Yeah, and it's not overbearing.
It doesn't
Not
smell
overbearing?
like he's in the
Just gives me a
club.
little bit,
Well,
like it.
I missed.
I like
missed
it.
is what I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could
So
do it, you
I
could
spray it
in the
and I
air
walk
then
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I get in there on the camera. So welcome back, Chrissy. I love having you here. I've been sharing your videos here on my Instagram as always because the 420 event's going to be a big one. We're going to talk about all your little sponsors and stuff. Yeah, grab her some headphones, get all situated. Before our first segment that we're going to talk about that I'm going to tease is kind of like a public announcement and a profession. Not a profession. I'm going to profess my adoration to an actress who right now has been getting a lot of bad press based off her appearance. And I consider her like immaculate, like extremely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in White Lotus. So we're going to talk about Aimee Lou Wood real quick. And I will share that with you. I kind of have like, not a rant. I feel like I want to defend her honor in a way. I know it's
You're white knighting right now.
I'm white knighting, but I'm not meaning it in a way. I just want to show her my online support for her because I thought she was fantastic in White Lotus. She's also in, I think, Sex Education on Netflix. She's a British actress and she has been like really negatively infected emotionally based off people's reaction to her physical appearance. And which is crazy to hear because you're like, wait a second, you're a leading actress. You are literally like cast in a multi-million-dollar, franchise as, a beautiful sex pot, right? That's what she is. And she has a distinct look about her that I'm going to share with you here in just a second on the podcast broadcast right after I play music from Sleep Theory. And I'm going to talk about some of what's been happening with Aimee because I've been seeing this all week long. And I'm at a point where I've been seeing so much of it that it's really like, it's making me upset, that she is dealing with this much pain. Cause you can imagine getting on this like global platform and a stage and then everyone just kind of pointing at you and laughing and making fun of, something that you didn't think was a deformity because it's not, but then the rest of the world says it is. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That's Sleep Theory, who's going to be on the podcast broadcast this Friday before they take the stage at the Pima County Fair for the KFMA three-way, along with Pop Evil and Ashes to New. Joining us on the podcast broadcast, we still got Kendall and Rico, and we got Chrissy from Tucson Doobie hanging out with us.
Hello.
Now, have you guys watched the season 3 of White Lotus?
Yes.
Okay, and so you watched the whole thing, and we're not going to talk about the show itself. I want to talk about the actors and actresses involved, but you're a big fan?
I'm a fan, and I'm also following the drama, the teeth drama surrounding Aimee.
So here's the teeth drama, and I'll give you an example. Here's a picture of the actress that we're going to be talking about here. Aimee Lou Wood is her name. Now, to many people, this is her mainstream introduction to, the Western culture. Okay. And I'll be honest with you. When I first saw Aimee pop up on the screen, I did kind of have like a knee-jerk reaction. Like, whoa, oh my God, her teeth are out there, right? Because it's not a common look here in America.
It's a British look. That's right.
It is a British look.
We can
right?
all thank the Austin Powers teeth.
Right. But, okay.
Yes.
So her teeth are bucked. And initially, when you first see that, because it's something that you don't see every day, it's not a normal definition of beauty to you. Your knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, what's that? But as I was watching this show, there was nobody from this show that I fell in love with more and who I thought was more beautiful than Aimee Lou Wood on this show. By episode 3, I was like, she is the hottest person on this show. And this is a cast that's stacked with sexy women. But, she has been in the public spotlight in a way because this is her second show. She was on Sex Ed, which is on Netflix, originated out of the UK. Now, she's had fame. Nobody's ever said a damn thing about her appearance until now, until she's had Western culture fame. And now people keep making jokes about her appearance and her buck teeth. In fact, actually, she was recently kind of mimicked on SNL where Sarah Sherman, another actress who I love, looked like this. Now, this broke Aimee Lou Wood's heart. And you see images of her literally breaking down in tears in public and crying. That's this one right here. This is her right here. Heartbreaking, right? She is dealing with all this and she's shocked too, because in England, when she's been famous, not one person said that she looks silly at all because her look is English.
Right.
This is what
it's standard for the UK.
Yeah, it's like what a beautiful smile Aimee Lou Wood has. And then she goes on White Lotus and then Americans are like, your teeth are effed, girl. And they won't stop making fun of her. So, she's heartbroken. So with that, she also has a fallout with Walter Goggins, which is kind of a mind-blowing thing.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and they unfollowed each other on Instagram. And
Really?
yeah, this was after they publicly adored each other. So she's kind of going through a rough time right now. But I just want to say to her directly, while we're on the internet, and who knows who sees stuff on the internet, I just want to say to Aimee Lou Wood, Aimee Lou Wood, you are a 10 out of 10, a beautiful person on the outside and seems like a beautiful person on the inside. So any guy would be lucky to even be in your presence. So let alone be able to be intimate with that beautiful smile. So she actually unlocked a new appreciation in me for smiles. And now when I'm like on dating sites and I see someone who I could tell had braces as a younger kid, and be like, oh, perfect little teeth. Get out of here. Get out of my face with that Invisalign. I don't want to see that. Give me a tooth that's a little out of whack. Give me a tooth that's in front of your nose. That's the kind of tooth I want.
Snaggled teeth are in.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
So they said, this whole thing with this this popularity of White Lotus, they said that the receding hairline is now sexy because of Walter Goggins' look.
Mm-hmm. Walton,
whatever.
Get it right.
Well, you know what? He's being mean to Amy right now, so he doesn't even deserve that respect.
She might have made fun of his hairline and he said something about her teeth and they split ways.
Maybe. But
that is a good reason to unfollow somebody. You make fun of a man's hairline, block. But, if they're going to say that because of Walton Goggins' hairline, that now it's sexy for men to have receding hairline, I think it's only fair to turn it around and say, well, buck teeth are now in for beautiful women. So I'm a big fan of Aimee Lou Wood. It's been tough to see her cry in public this entire week and some of the drama and fallout.
Yeah, Sarah Sherman did send her flowers the next day.
She did, in fact, actually, which is so nice because, again, I've been a big fan of Sarah Sherman as well. But they actually shared the message that Sarah sent to Aimee because Aimee was publicly upset about the SNL portrayal of her appearance. And so then Sarah actually just posted publicly and said, hey, everyone, Sarah Sherman here. I want to take a moment to address something that's been weighing heavily on me. Many of you saw the recent SNL sketch, which was called The White POTUS, by the way. Very funny parody. And where I portrayed a character inspired by Aimee Lou Wood. I want to sincerely apologize for any hurt or discomfort that sketch may have caused her. Comedy should uplift people, not make them feel targeted. The use of prosthetic teeth and exaggerated accent weren't meant as personal attacks, but I get why they felt that way. Aimee is an incredible talent and didn't deserve that kind of betrayal. At SNL, we always try to aim upwards and make smart comedy, but I acknowledge that we missed the mark with this time. I spoken to Aimee and expressed my regret. I carry this lesson forward, so on and so forth. Very kind words from Sarah Sherman, who is a breakout star at SNL as well. So,
and people are speculating that this skit is the reason that caused the rift between her and Walton Goggins.
You know
So-
what? I should have read the bottom of this too, which doesn't look great. The fake apology that Wood posted has since been deleted. Son of a bitch. The story develops as we go down the rabbit hole with this story. You can join us, youtube.com/bevegan. But first, here's a wage war on Rock 102.1. Yeah, I'm like,
God,
what? Okay.
The whole story.
The whole
Like, oops,
story.
Never mind.
Okay. But no, she did receive a gift. So following the controversial sketch, Aimee Lou Wood received a gift from Sarah Sherman, the cast member who portrayed her. The gift included a handwritten note and a custom-made plush toy resembling Wood's White Lotus character. Oh,
So I'm a big
But with teeth?
Anglophile,
okay.
and Aimee Lou Wood was on the Jonathan Ross show
Yes.
the other week talking about how nice Americans were being about her teeth. Like people were making viral videos about dentists analyzing her teeth using the, medical terms for the underbite that she has.
It's an overbite, I think.
But
Yeah.
that, and they were like, ending the videos with like, and we think she's perfect and she shouldn't, change a thing. It was just more of like educational talking about her teeth. So she had just spoke about that publicly. And then the next week, SNL made that skit, which I also feel like I didn't watch the skit, but it's kind of like, that's how it goes, right? Like, when you parody people, you're going to be exaggerating. And yeah, I don't
Like,
think
God
it was,
forbid she goes to a caricature artist.
right.
Yeah.
It's just like, sorry, that's a feature. Embrace it.
So I
Yeah,
think it's not
subjective.
SNL that's the problem. It's the people that are responding negatively.
She responded negatively. She was one, and so you have to have thick skin when you go in there. But this is all a surprise to her because I'm sure she's a woman that probably was told she was beautiful her entire life, right? And is probably kind, and then getting all this mean, seeing these mean comments, and then just being on the internet in general and be like, "What the hell?" That will break you down. Here's a picture of her again, beautiful. Right? She looks great.
Well, that's what it's all about. I think it's so subjective. I mean, you talk to some ladies and they think Christopher Walken's hot, or Steve Buscemi, like, oh, I find him sexy.
Yeah.
Not conventional
flaws are
looks, but
endearing.
they are.
Yeah.
So it's about a personality, more or less. If she's a cool person, she's fun to be around, who cares?
Yeah. Now, as far as why her and Walton Goggins had a falling out, still trying to figure that one out. That's
From what I'm reading, it's because of the way they perceived the sketch, the SNL sketch.
Well, no,
so, you said, Aimee was
the falling
upset.
out. The falling out actually happened before that sketch, but he did, to add insult to injury, share the sketch to his Instagram page,
right?
Being like "bravo" and all this stuff. I'm like, oh no, dude.
So that was probably the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. He kind of kicked her while she was down. Have you watched White Lotus, Chrissy?
No, I haven't watched White Lotus. I'm not watching much TV.
Too busy, hustling and
Too
bustling.
busy.
You're gearing up for the holiday.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I know, which we're going to talk about here on the stream in just a little bit. We're going to get back on the air. So were you team Walton Goggins on this one then, or team Aimee Lou?
I mean, I guess, without knowing more details, it's hard to say, but, I do love, who doesn't love Walton Goggins? Like,
No,
he's the man.
He's having a moment right now.
And he's making, receding hairlines in.
I'm excited about
Me and
that.
my man, we stand by that.
It makes me want to grow out my hair. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Sexy.
But I'll tell you
Now's the
this.
time.
Okay, and we're back on the air, Rock 102.1 KFMA. My buddy Brandon, who I just saw this last weekend, I was so mind blown. Since he was early, like 20s, he had like runway head, right? Now, I just saw him recently. This dude has a full head of hair. And I'm like, hey, bro, you're looking great in pictures. What the hell's going on? And he told me that he's using this this product that's like a pill and some lotion for his hair.
Okay.
It literally grew his hair back on his head. And I was like, and I forgot the name of the product. And I'm not giving an endorsement in it anyways. But I was blown away. I'm like, this actually worked.
Wow.
Now I thought about it, I was like, maybe I should do that too, because I'm having a receding hairline, which is fine. I mean, I'm not bald, but I got a spot. I'm manly. And I'm on the fence whether I go full Walton Goggins, embrace it, and be like, what's up, ladies? This is maturity at its finest. Or, try to be like Razor and be forever young and try to grow my hair and then maybe even, I mean, I don't need to dye it because I'm not going gray, but like try to grow it out. So what do you say? And Chrissy, you like a man with a full head of hair?
I do. I really like a hairy man. I like, Sasquatch, just hair everywhere.
Right.
I dig it.
So have you had scenarios where men with like male pattern baldness are trying to shoot their shot and you're just like, I'm not into it?
Some of them can pull it off though. It really depends.
Like what? How do you pull it off?
Okay, if the head is shaped in the right way, I mean, shape of the head has a lot to do with it, don't you think?
Yes.
Like if they have like the pointy cone head, that's bad.
Yeah, that is bad. Yeah, so cone heads are not good.
If you have a good shaped head or like the flat head in the back, not good either.
Yeah. Yeah, so it shows that your parents didn't care about you enough to roll you over every now and then.
Right.
Yeah, that's what that says.
So, yeah, I mean, but some guys can totally pull it off because I've seen some really hot bald guys.
Yeah, but what was the last bald guy you dated?
Oh,
it was a never.
God, that might be a never.
Yeah, see, yeah. All right. I mean, I know you don't care, Kendall.
That's not bad. I'm not saying that.
No,
I wouldn't do it for any time.
You definitely made all bald guys not feel bad about that at all. But like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. Never get a shot with hot Chrissy.
It's fascinating to me how much of a big deal this is to men, because it's like men have been bald forever.
It's
like, why is this still a thing? Like if you are going bald, like just shave it. Just, I think, embrace it.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting how much of a sensitive topic that is for men.
It's only a sensitive topic because it comes with responses like Chrissy, like, sorry, that's a hard no. You know what I mean? So if it wasn't
a hard no, though, it really wouldn't be a hard no.
No, I know. I'm not saying you personally,
right?
For sure.
The way the guy looks at you, if he's like trying to shoot a shot and he's being sexy, and
if he looks at you being like, I wish I can grow hair like you.
That'll get me going.
No, but yeah. So I mean, everyone has a preference. So and then we're at that point where with technology and stuff and science, then there are options to grow it back if you're one of the lucky few
doing the surgeries, the hair plug transplant.
I'm not a fan of that.
The plugs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say when you saw your friend.
No, and he legit grew it. And I asked about plugs, and I looked close. I got uncomfortably close, kind of like a mama baboon would do with her baby baboon. Yeah. Like you're grooming it. Like I was all up in the follicles and like pulling on them and like, wow, this is real. And I ate a couple fleas that was in there. It was fantastic.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, he looks great. So yeah. All right. Well, let's keep this conversation moving on to podcast broadcast. Chrissy is in from Tucson Doobie. Of course, 420 weekend is happening this weekend. 419, there's going to be a big party that we can only talk about on youtube.com/beefvegan. So if you want to know about it, join us there. We'll be back after music from Green Day on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. Yeah. So your boyfriend now has long hair, like long rock star hair?
No, I don't do the long hair thing either.
Okay, yeah. Just full hair, like Rico's hair.
Full hair, hairy chest.
Got a great head of hair.
Yeah, it does. Look at the bushy hair. I mean, have you even seen your scalp? Do you even know your scalp exists?
Yeah.
Scalp
you can feel it.
I've shaved my head before.
Oh,
not
yeah,
like completely bald, but I go down, yeah.
No, yeah, that's true. He does switch up his hair. See,
I just want to make sure I have a good shape.
His hair's so good. This guy has like 5 different hairstyles a year.
Mm-hmm.
A year. I've been rocking the same hairstyle for like 3 years, which is high and tight, short and then with a hat, So he changes hairstyles more than I change hats. I'm jealous of that hair for sure.
I kind of want the convenience of being a hat guy though. I feel like if I go to one of those fancy hat stores that have like the really cool, not fedora, but like kind of Western hat, that'd be my identity. I wouldn't have to worry about my hair anymore. You
got a cowboy hat. On what? Yeah. How long does it take you to get that beautiful mane and just organized?
Just a little gel.
Yeah, so all you do is go into it. Yeah, and it's fine.
I fart into it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I haven't had that.
Unlocked.
I haven't had that experience since I was like 14, dude. Not that I was going bald at an early age.
Not too late. Let's get you some of those follicles, man.
No, fuck the follicles.
Come on.
I'm trying to go Walton Goggins. Like
Gonna Goggins it?
Yeah, I have. Here's an example. I'll show you the picture on my driver's license, because I'm not taking my hat off for the stream. All right, so this is my driver's license. And don't look at the numbers. There's hackers out there.
That is not you.
That is me.
Let's see. What?
Does that look? Do I look weird, or is that like not great?
This looks like a mugshot.
Like
well, yeah, because I'm not happy to be at the DMV. Who's happy to be at the DMV?
That's not you.
I am, but I'm usually on mushrooms.
That's somebody impersonating you.
That looks fake.
No, that's real. It's a real ID. You can run it, but
thanks, ladies.
Look, I grew up on the west side of Phoenix, and I was taught a long time ago when someone says, stand here and take a picture, you mean mug it. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm not gonna smile in this. Like, that's stupid.
They always do you dirty at the DMV.
I'm shocked they don't surcharge you if you want to do an extra one if you don't like it. I'm like, that'd be $5. You want a second one?
I don't even give shit though. Yeah. That's the thing. So there's no vanity on my license, driver's license. But like, I'm not. Who am I gonna show it to? To you at the door, and then be like, yeah, dude, I'm 45. Just let me in.
So many people are embarrassed. Like, don't judge my photo. I'm like, I don't care.
That's so funny.
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't give a shit. As someone who checks tons of IDs, do you give me two shits? No,
none. And sometimes I do laugh. I'm like, that's god awful.
I do say,
yikes!
Oh, now you're scared.
The glow up.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be hesitant to be like, come on, man.
Like wolf.
I think you should embrace the scalp that God gave you, but that not only are there the hair regrowth treatments and the hair transplants, but toupees are getting really good. Good quality toupees.
I'll never rock a toupee.
Yeah, well, if you think about like females and doing like the hair extensions and things like that has come a long way. Those look really good.
I would rather go bald than wear a toupee
transcended
though. Yeah, me too.
Toupees.
Because people, all it takes is a one person notice, like, that's a toupee.
Yeah.
And then you hear that in the back, you're like,
No, I'll show you guys videos later. It'll blow your mind.
Okay, please do.
Yeah.
You know what though? So we're still on the podcast, right?
Yeah,
so I can talk about this.
Yes, please.
But there was a study that like you can put a derivative of THC on your scalp.
I knew your answer was going to be weird.
Yeah, no,
on
but
brand.
This is for sure. It regrows hair better than whatever that Propecia and Rogaine. And it's in clinical studies, it has regrown male.
And it's
baldness.
That's true.
CBD. It's specifically THC that's helping the regrowth.
Yes, it's a THCA compound that's applied topically to the scalp, and it has regrown hair better than Rogaine, Propecia, all of them.
I believe it because I had a college roommate who smoked a lot of weed and grew dreadlocks. Weed. So you know.
So smoke your joint and then rub it on your top of your head.
Some Rick Simpson oil.
Yeah. I bet that would do it. RSO will shrink tumors.
I would smell terrible. You're telling me rub my roach all over my head.
Not the roach, beef.
It's like, that's so gross, dude. You smell like a dirty ashtray, like weed ashtray. I'm like, what's up, ladies? It's growing. It's growing.
Mixed with your new cologne.
Yeah. It's a winning combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would need to, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that yet, but we'll see. And I'm on the fence of whether or not, I have to text him to get the actual name and stuff. He said it costs him about $500 a year, which is not that much.
Yeah.
To grow the hair back. But
how long is the hair going to last? What if it just like tomorrow falls out of his head? Or I
don't think it will.
What if he puts on a treatment and then it burns and it's like
it doesn't? He hasn't had any negative experience. The only negative experience that he has from it, and he has this beautiful girl, Sid, who's been with Sid for years. So the only repercussions is Sid is so fucking annoyed at him talking about his hair growth. She's like, shut the fuck up about your hair, right? That's the only repercussions that he has from growing this hair, because he's like, oh my God, shut up already. She doesn't care. She loved them bald, but
funny.
But I'm telling you what, the pictures look great. Let's see. Got your wristbands for the arcade tonight. Roadies is doing a media night tonight. So
fun.
Are you going to that?
That place is going to be cool.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
My friend Sierra went and checked it out the other day. Said it looks really good. It's owned by Roadhouse. It has bowling, which kind of looks like round one bowling, right? It has a little platform and a couple things. Has axe throwing, various different axe throwing things.
Is it a soft open or is it like actually open now?
It's a soft open.
Oh,
this
sweet.
is media night, or they say social media night, so they don't even give media actual credit anymore. And then so that's why I'm like, I'm sure you got invited. You got an Instagram page, Chrissy.
Yeah.
So then they have laser tag in there as well, and then a bunch of like Roadhouse style food, so like loaded waffle fries. It's a cool spot right there on Grant and Country Club. And it's what I like about it. It's like a block away from my house. So I'm just like, oh, cool. Yeah. Like date night. And if the date's going good, I save money on gas going back home.
Did you let me win at laser tag? Like, maybe.
As I'm winded and like my door. Yeah, totally. You're welcome. I'm chivalrous. All right, now if I pass out, pump up my chest. Okay.
I feel like it's a date I'll take John on if I'm mad at him. Like, let's go throw axes right now.
Yeah, and then emasculate him and then shoot him up in there.
Damn.
Are you good at axe throwing?
Oh, yeah, I've never tried it. I think I would be. I'm athletic-ish.
That doesn't seem very convincing, I'll be honest with you.
It's a skill level that's better than people who are unathletic.
Okay.
But it's not as good as people who are genuine athletes.
Rico and I surprisingly suck at it, and Weirdo smoked us.
No, that was stupid knives. That was
different.
It was way different.
Okay.
She had a girdle. She had more of a...
She did have a girdle. This was at the Renaissance Fair. We still haven't forgiven her for that. Nope. She was surprisingly good. She showed that she had a bigger dong.
I dominated.
All right. So I have this pulled up. Tucson's new 420 Fest blends food, music, cannabis, all into one celebration. Now, we did have Chrissy on last week, but I just want to reiterate this because it is happening 2 to 8, and I'm trying to get Rico to come out with me.
Yeah.
Urban Life is going to be out there as the live music portion of it. DJ Jamar, shout out to DJ Jamar. He is also, you know him from the Tucson Hip Hop Awards, and Jamar will be back in before that as well. He's going to be there with a bunch of different artists that are going to be performing there. They also have food, where tacos and then tons of cannabis vendors. So I suggest, and this is the thing, if you partake, right? What's great about these events and fests is that all these vendors come out and they have all these goodies to give away. Right. So samples galore, and they have a budget for swag that like radio stations wish they had. They have 1990s radio station swag budgets. Like big, like I got lunch boxes,
they're balling
speakers, I got shit, man. Like it's so cool. You go there, you get hooked up with so much. My last 420 event that I went to, I got enough weed that literally lasts me till this 420.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of the sponsors going to be out there for goodies?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. So it's presented by Earth's Healing. So they're going to have a really big presence.
Yeah.
They're going to have a flower bar. They're going to have a dab bar, vape bar. They're going to have that merch that you're talking about. All those freebies going out. And then we have Prime Leaf Dispensary, and they're going to be doing an adult Easter egg hunt, which how cool is that?
They're hiding Easter nugs?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, 300.
That's
300
amazing.
eggs. Pop them open.
This sounds so fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, and it's from 2 to 8 on a Saturday. So you could literally do a whole bunch of other stuff afterwards if you still have the energy, or you can go home and take a weed nap for 9 hours, right?
Yes. You can come anytime. You can stay the whole 6 hours. You can come in the morning, in the afternoon if it's better for you. There's going to be a lot of going on. I'd say be there at 4:20. We're going to do a community smoke with this new social equity venture cannabis brand called Pinatas, which is really neat. They do these huge pinatas and fill them up with weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, that's a party right there.
Why are you giving me this look?
Because I'm just like, dude, I have to work that night.
I know.
And I know I'm going to be like, I want to just be like checking IDs and be like, yeah, good, man. Just go. I don't care. Hey, man, it's just, what are the laws, man? They're stupid.
You're like, hey, mister, can I go inside your bar? Yeah, whatever, man.
I'm going to drink anyway one day. Who cares?
I'm so high you look 7. Look, you have a little self-control, right? And so,
and I want the freebies. Hell yeah, I'll go home.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I want all the swag.
Yeah, dude. And if you partake on a national holiday for a legal substance, let's remember it is a legal substance.
Right.
If you partake on that at 2:00, say 3:00, and then you go to work at say 6:00, you'll be fine, bruh.
I am such a lightweight. I told you recently when I got back from that expo, they had those THC drinks.
Yeah.
Those seltzers, and they had one that was like 10 milligrams.
Well, drinking and eating, that's a whole different game. I'm saying smoke, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be hosting the Roadrunners game afterwards, and I'm going to be the best host ever, trust me.
Yeah.
I am going to be ready for it. I'm giving out a bunch of swag. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm feeling fine. Just have a little caffeine to perk me up, and I'm good to go.
And it's going to be great. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you see like fights and stuff downtown, are those people high?
No, they're not.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, high people just
all right, let's
happy.
get on the air here about 5 seconds. Exactly. High and just non-confrontational.
Right.
Rocco and 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beefeager Presents. Hanging out here with a full crew, Rico, Kendall, and Chrissy from Tucson Doobie. I got the what the heck story that I want to share with you. This is kind of gross, right? There was a woman, Australia has really been on one here in the past like 48 hours. But it's in Melbourne. There was a mother of 5. She hatched a plan to sell 2 human toes on the black market.
2 of them.
Yeah. Just 2 individual toes.
A pair. She's
like, hey, I can't let these toes go to waste. I could make some money off them. See, what happened was these toes were coughed up by dogs. Yeah, it gets gross. Yeah. So she's a 48-year-old woman named Joanna. She worked at an animal shelter where 2 dogs arrived after their owner died. And you know what the saying is, like, usually it's with cats. Like if
they say dogs or cats, they'll eat you within less than 24 hours if you die.
Not my dog.
No?
72 hours
Definitely
at least.
Your dog.
No, you would never.
I'll be upset if my dog doesn't eat me.
Right.
I'd be insulted.
I thought you loved me.
Yeah.
Start with my fingers, please. So this is it was a no-kill shelter, so it couldn't kill these cannibalistic dogs. I guess they're not cannibalistic, these, carnivore dogs. So she got the toes of the late owner's body, right? And she put it in a bag. And of course, the dogs are just hanging out there. And she bizarrely thought to herself, hey, I can get blank amount of money for these. Guess how much money she was assuming that she would be able to make from human toes on the internet. All right.
$500.
You say,
no, I think way more.
Okay, so you're going to go 500. So Rico says 500. You're saying way more. So you're going to go for the over. What's the amount do you think?
I think she was asking 10 G's per toe.
10 G's per toe?
What kind of toes you been working with?
Yeah, what kind of toe market are you familiar with? I mean, you hang out with a bunch of people being like, man, you check out these toes.
Real authentic human toes. How often do you come across those?
All the time.
I wouldn't pay 10 G's for Margot Robbie's toes, and she legendarily has very nice toes.
That's right.
And she's Australian too. But these weren't Margot Robbie toes. All right, what do you say, Chrissy?
Well, these are regurgitated toes?
Yeah, regurgitated. Yeah. So that should also...
that devalues them.
Does it devalue
or increase the value?
So more than 10 G's now?
Yeah,
it's like the coffee rich people buy that like goes through that cat thing and they buy the coffee. The poop coffee.
Oh, the poop coffee. Yeah, no, disgusting. I think it would take away from the value, to be honest with you, just because it wouldn't be pristine toes, because first off, they're gnawed off, and then they've slightly digested.
No,
so
they have a story. They have a past,
Every toe has a story.
All right, Forrest Gump.
Every toe has its story.
Tail. Every toe has tail. Okay, here's the answer. She thought she could get $250 for them. Yes, way low. She stashed the severed toes in a jar of formaldehyde at home and even listed them on sale online.
Where?
Authorities say her scheme was astounding, distressing, and just overall disgusting. And they're getting she's actually avoiding jail for this, though, and just getting community service. So
Australians are very forgiving. They're like, you know what? There's a lot of weird stuff out here.
Yeah,
this is the least of them.
She's just trying to make some money, mate. The judge basically told her to think long and hard, pun intended, I guess, about why selling dog-barfed human toes is not okay. So, that's what would you give like a pun? Let's do the best pun for this toe. Like, how would you advertise this if you were like a Scott Lehman? You're trying to get these toes to fly off your shelf. Mm-hmm. What's your tagline?
Hey everybody, I'm here to sell you toes for a nickel.
No, I got that's Scott Lehman. I would say, hey, check out these prices. They're totally insane. Yeah,
nailed it.
Thank you. All right, well, let's keep this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast.
So dumb.
I know. We specialize in dumb.
I just keep thinking of the Big Lebowski saying, "You need a toe. I can get you a toe."
Exactly.
There's a market.
And I think that's why you guys went so high in your price, because you were thinking Big Lebowski, maybe subconsciously, because in that movie, they definitely, black market, male toes.
I feel like I would hope that the black market is just, if it's any body part of any kind, I just hope it's a high value. Like how much, that just doesn't feel good. To be dead.
You would hope your toes would go for a lot of money.
Your ghost learning that your toes are being sold for only $250.
Right.
That's why I'm like, my toes are $10K each, Like,
you probably have nice toes. I don't have nice toes, so I don't think they would go for much.
Yeah, mine are disgusting. Dude.
Yeah, I think they would sell mine 2 for $1 on Toes Day.
Well, I have
the free bin. They're just like, just take them.
I have
Walmart toes.
I have a pair of web toes. So
you have one pair of red toes?
Just one. Yes.
Like, so two toes webbed together.
What, two toes? Yes, please.
Yeah, can I see that?
Yeah, let's go full screen on that one.
Let me kick my shoes off.
Play some Tarantino music.
Yeah, if you offer, well, it's trademarked well.
See, that's my first my first tattoo.
Oh, Chrissy, your head's in the way.
I'm like, can you see that? I'm trying to spread them best I can. Actually, you know
That's
what?
what she said.
No.
That's
$500 right there.
You're gonna have to blur that out because if somebody wants to see them.
Yeah.
Robert from Late Party.
Paywall.
Yeah, Robert from Late Party said, we have toes so cheap, you'll take them all the way home. Wow.
That's a good one.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that a Scott Lehman?
No, that was a Three Little Pigs. Yeah, this little pig.
Oh.
Weren't you a child
No,
once?
my parents were vegan. Sorry.
So
keep my shoes off.
I barely even saw them. Yeah, keep them off. Get comfortable with your weird toes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many dates into your relationship do you tell your boyfriend that you have web toes? Is it date one?
I don't even know if he's noticed. We'll have to ask him. Just like you guys never noticed my glaring half sleeve.
Why does she swim so much faster than me all the time?
Yeah, you're Michael Phelps.
I have, other small tattoos, and I think a couple months ago, John was like, what does this one say? And I'm like, we've been together for half a year, and you haven't learned.
I don't think you take that much time to. I guess you should, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is seem kind of weird, and I mean, you enjoy and you kind of look, but do you like memorize everything? I guess you should.
Well, I would be kind of mad after 6 months of dating someone. They don't know that I have something as cool as a web toe. I'd be like, you don't even love me.
Exactly.
Okay, well, what about this though? You can still wear flip flops because your web toes are your like second toe in and your third toe, so it doesn't affect your day to day flip flop wearing experience.
It affects me if I get a pedicure.
Oh, do they?
Because they put the little sponge wedge things in between your toes.
Yeah, so what do they say?
Hurts.
Okay.
And they don't care that they're webbed. Yeah. They just try to like jam it in there.
And
and it doesn't stay. It just pops out because
they keep trying though.
Yeah.
Like, it'll fit.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's a whole market out there for toe sponges for web toes? You can just like a little clipper you can clip it on, like slide it on.
They should.
Ooh.
That's something I could do. Right. Yeah, custom web toe sponges.
Right.
All right. So I had to ask ChatGPT what is the reason for web toes, right? And did you ever look this up? Did you ever try to like answer the questions like why am I so special?
It was so I could swim better.
Yeah, that's
evolutionary.
That doesn't say that. Well, so like it's called this is a condition. There's a scientific term for it, of course. Syndactyly. So SYNDACTYLY. Syndactyly. It happens when two or more toes are fused together either by skin or by bone, and it's usually a genetic condition that occurs during the fetal development. Normally these webs disappear from the 6 to 8 week in pregnancy, but if it doesn't, that's syndactyly. So the common reasons for it, it runs in the family, so it's kind of hereditary.
Yeah, I think I'm the only odd one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it could be a spontaneous mutation. Sometimes it just happens randomly during development. Can be associated with conditions like Apert syndrome and Poland syndrome. Sometimes it's just because of a random position during the third trimester. And environmental factors rarely exposed to certain drugs or toxins in the womb may affect development. So rarely. So in most cases, web toes are harmless. They don't affect walking or function. And some people choose surgery for cosmetic reasons. So you think you could just snip it?
You could. I mean, that's what the instructions say on my tattoo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, though?
I think you did show me that and tell me that before, because I think I did see that tattoo. I thought it was funny. Snip here. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean,
I think it's also funny because it's only on the one foot. Like I just also double checked. I like looked at my other foot to make sure those don't have any. They're like a little bit connected, but not like those two specifically. Okay. Those are the twins right there. They gotta
the twins.
Together.
Yeah.
Have you asked the rest of your family, like even distant family and cousins?
Siamese twins.
But I mean, I guess I'd have to. Yeah, really.
Let me see you.
I mean, but no, I think I'd be aware if somebody had it that wasn't just me.
Feels like you're an X-Men or something.
Yeah,
it's like super special.
That is somewhat. Yeah,
but I figured it was just because I wasn't done cooking in the womb which doesn't quite make sense because I don't think I was early or anything.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
so
like
Todd said beef saw feet, and now this is all we're going to be talking about for the rest of the show. That is not true. Again, it did look nice though. It was very nice.
You know what? Tying this back to Tucson Doobie, it's a perfect little joint holder. You know.
I like that.
Web
toe always feet. There when you need it.
I would not hit a joint out of someone's feet. I thought you were going to tie it back to Aimee Lou Wood because this is another example of something that is unique, and then it grows to be a beautiful thing. You know, you're like, it's actually.
No, I'm thinking about the upcoming holiday and how I can use this to, the advantage.
Which holiday? Any Spider-Man related holiday, right? Anything involving webbing?
What?
No, it's a web joke.
Bad.
Web feet.
No, I'm trying to think what she can do with during 420. You can hold nugs in there. Hold nugs like a nug basket.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a little roach clip, I guess.
Yeah, we could put you on stage for that if you're interested.
Right. It'd be like a kissing booth, but like a foot booth.
Yeah.
For hitting a joint.
I love that idea. I love interactive stuff.
Kissing foot booth.
It's going to be Easter egg hunts. There's going to be
weird
feet booths.
Robert said from Late to the Party, and this could be a sign of evolution, right? Because if you believe the movie Waterworld with Kevin Costner, the whole world becomes flooded with water and people live on it. And those who are advanced actually have webbed feet. So she's basically the Mariner from Waterworld if you could swim really fast. And that's what obviously Michael Phelps was, because he's famously webbed and famously built just like a dolphin and the fastest swimmer on the planet. And got all those things. So you take a negative, not even negative, you take a unique ability and you turn it into your superpower.
You chose to live in the desert.
Right. But because it's only the 1 foot, when I swim, I just go in circles.
That's what I was gonna, going around and around.
Yes, that is tough.
What is she doing?
It's not my fault. It's the only way. When I kick, I just keep going right back to the beginning.
Help.
All right, Uber released their latest lost and found list. So this is some weird things that I've found in the back of an Uber, right? Have you ever left anything in the back of an Uber or rideshare?
Oh, I've left my phone in the back, which is awful because what are you going to do when you don't have your phone? Who are you going to call?
Yeah.
No, you're just screaming at the end of the road. Get back! Ah!
Yeah.
It's so much better than a taxi, though. Back in the day, you had no recourse.
That's true.
Barely any. This time, it's like you at least get your app from somewhere else and be like, hey.
You could track it down.
Yeah, what did you do? How did you get it back?
I had to go inside, and then you can do online through Uber. You can log into your account that way, but it was a mess.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been that smart and figured it out. I'd just been like, I guess I got no phone for the rest of my life.
Well.
All right, so here's some of the weird things that were found in the back of a Uber this last year. A mannequin head with human hair. Don't ask questions. Don't know. Fresh breast milk, which probably was from Mari. A ghost trap from Ghostbusters. If I was driving an Uber, it'd be like, you lost that forever.
I'm not turning that in.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody turn that in.
Yeah. A urinal. Like, how are you going to? Yeah, you're going to put a urinal in someone else's car and then forget it? Go fuck off, right? Like, that's just rude.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah. A live pet turtle. A set of Shrek ears. 15 hookahs. All this stuff. In fact, actually, I got to take all this stuff and turn it into a rap song.
Sounds like the 12 Days of Christmas.
I know. That's why I was like, I got to turn this into a song now.
Yeah.
We're going to get on here in about 5 seconds. I got something I find ironic. I'll share with you here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. There's a lot of trends that constantly develop, each and every year, right? That the young people follow. Well, according to a recent report, it looks like being frugal is trendy. They're like, hey, a majority of Americans are like, you know what's really cool? Not spending money. And you're like, oh yeah, what makes it so cool? Why are you not spending money? Just to be cool? Well, I don't really have money. And so now let's just spin this into let's not spend money because it's cool to not spend money we don't have. And yeah, see, I got an amen in the background. So a lot of Americans are on a budget these days, and being honest and open about it is more socially acceptable now, according to a new poll. Yeah. Right. I guess this goes back to dating. When's the last time you were on a date, Rico? Is that something you want to admit publicly or no?
Months.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is it in a scenario where you're like, you want to go Dutch? Do you talk about going Dutch?
Oh.
Why'd you gasp?
Oh, I would not go. I would be so offended. Wouldn't you? If we go out on a date and he's like, we're splitting this halfway.
But that's offensive?
So
yeah.
Why?
This is
I think it's offensive if they don't get me an appetizer.
You can't split the appetizer.
Get me mozzarella sticks.
You know how much blooming onions are nowadays?
For a first date? Real? First date. I'm saying first date.
What are you saying, Kendall?
Yeah, I've had dates where it wasn't a first date, but it was maybe like a second or third date. And I felt like I couldn't order a drink, order dessert, because you could tell they're trying to not spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And women,
they sweat every time you ask a question about a menu. Another bead of sweat goes.
Yeah, like the waiter's selling us on what's on the menu, and you're looking at them trying to telepathically communicate what should we get, and the vibe I was getting was nothing. You get nothing.
They're like the catch of the day is, and you're like, that sounds good, and he's like, no, it doesn't. Oh.
It's like when you're taking ladies on dates that have $10K value in their toes, you gotta show that you're willing to invest in this person. And my brother gave me a lot of grief because I told him John paid for our first 5 dates.
Yeah.
And then I started splitting and going Dutch. But
right.
It's you gotta, I don't know, like I said, make the investment and show hey, I'm serious.
I just see the girls down to Dine and Dash. I'm like, are you a real one or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah. Find yourself bonding to your Clyde. Look, there have been studies that shown that to date in America these days, it costs about on average $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year to just date and be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So it finds in this study that 61% of respondents agree that being frugal is less tacky than it was 10 years ago. But the reality is, people are making less money and uncertain about the cost of the everyday items in the near future, right? So, I guess it makes it a little easier. But, obviously there's a lot of women out there that the deal breaker is if they're not making a certain amount of money or, don't seem like they're financially able to do these kind of luxuries, then it's going to be a hard no for them anyways.
That's what they say. If you're not financially ready to pay for a date, then you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah. I get asked all the time because I'm in a position of I get a lot of attention and stuff, and it's a sexy job, but it's not necessarily a financially lucrative job. So people are like, hey, why are you single? And the easiest answer is because I'm broke, bitch. I can't afford that all the time. I can't afford all these vacations. And I'll go to Hawaii by myself. And
I got girlfriends financed on Klarna, dude. I got a payment system going up for them.
All right, now,
with the interest.
I'm going to ask this question going into the break before we wrap things up with the beef tip. Now, obviously with the cost of everything going up, the cost of what it might take for us to retire, that magic number, has gone up as well. So think about this. I'm going to ask you this question and everybody on the stream as well. How much do you think Americans, on average, think they need to retire comfortably these days? All right. So comment along youtube.com/beefvegan or stick around because we'll be back with that answer and your beef tip right after music from White Zombie on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right. So
what is this retirement you speak of?
I know.
What is that?
And that's another thing.
What is that?
Not even close to retirement, right? I'm like, hell, in fact, I'm going to take on 17 more jobs and half of them are going to be for free. So
when you mention frugality, have you heard of extreme frugality?
Which is homelessness?
Frugality maxing?
Yeah.
It's a theory through the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early.
Okay.
So basically, if you dedicate, the next 10 years of your life, let's say you're in your 30s, you can retire by your 40s if you commit to extreme frugality, which is basically, no
more avocado toast, kids.
No eating in general, right?
You're having PB&Js. You're not spending money on anything that's extracurricular. You're, reducing any, costs that are unnecessary. And it's an extreme way to live, but people are doing it because you can then retire,
I partially believe that, but I also partially believe that's an extreme gaslighting on an entire economy that's really kind of undermining our entire society right now.
Yeah. And
so there's a lot of inflation, a lot of greed happening. We live in a fiat system that's going to be imploding the next decade or so. And people just don't eat out as much.
Dude, I wish I could afford a Fiat. I'm still driving a Kia Soul. Those Fiats
Fiat currency, not Fiat cars.
It's not a new theory.
They're pretty nice, though.
But it is a terrible quality of life because then you're not you're not going to concerts. You're not spending money on doing anything. You're just living to retire in 10 years. and fast track it. And I personally could not live like that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. Well, even though, I mean, I'm in this industry just so I can go to concerts for free, which I will. I'll be getting into fair for free on Friday. Whoop, 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 yeah. Yeah, making some stage announcements. I might even get paid for making stage announcements to make it easy as possible. Okay, so what's the number then? I'm going to throw out the number. What do you think average Americans say you need to have saved up to retire comfortably, Rico?
2 million, at least.
You say 2 million. Mm-hmm. All right.
This is what people think they need to retire.
Yeah, yeah, on average. I mean, what's your personal number? Then guess what people. I'll let you do both.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think like 2 million, but depending on the age and whatnot. But I think what people think is probably grossly underestimated. So I think people think they need like $100,000.
Okay, and Chrissy.
I was going to say people think they need about $250K.
You think only $250K? Yeah. I feel like you spend that much on weed in a year. Tucson doobie. See, just tying it in. I know, that's a joke. And I'm sure you get all the freebies too. So that's, whenever you're in the industry, that comes with the perks, right?
Part of the extreme frugality. Yeah. Saving money on.
All right, that answer.
I'm going to retire next year.
Yeah.
So we got answers here. 3 million is what Joe said. 2.5 million is what Patrick said. Both of those are over. We also have numbers here. 2 million from Taco, 10 million from Brian, which is way high. And good luck with trying to achieve that number, right? 1.5 million is getting closer. The number that was said here, and according to this recent survey, and it's a big one here, is that the average American thinks they need $1.26 million to retire comfortably. So basically, that number dropped 200,000 from last year. Okay, so last year
things are getting better, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
yeah, a little more optimistic. This, according to the Northwestern Mutual's 2025 Planning and Progress Study, which looks at things affecting America's long-term financial security. Of course, a lot of people talk about Social Security going up, going down, and all that. And again, that's something that's must be a good problem to have. I don't know.
Like I just remember when 6 figures used to be like that guy's super rich.
Yeah,
and now it's like, oh, they're like lower and middle class.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
In Arizona, they've been showing things, or you used to be able to have to make only like $50,000-$60,000 to be able to afford a house in Arizona. It's doubled now.
Yeah.
You have to make
pond scum.
You have to make $120 to afford a house in Arizona. All of Arizona. It's gone up everywhere, even here. Even though our economy has not increased and people haven't been moving here faster. So like the whole supply and demand thing makes sense in Phoenix. With people from California moving there, but that has not been the growth here. In fact, actually, this is the only city that has declined in population in the entire state of Arizona, but our prices still go up. It's crazy.
Really?
It's crazy.
Rough.
I know, man. That's okay. I'll just rent forever and, do all that shit. You know what I did? Because we're in the summertime. We're getting into summertime, obviously. And I had this, like last year, I was spending like $300 a month during peak summer months on my electric.
For AC,
for AC, dude.
That's so
and it wasn't even going down below like 80 something. So I was still uncomfortable. Yes, dude.
That's whack.
I was still uncomfortable. And I was just like, so every summer, I spent 2 summers in this spot so far. Every summer, I'm just like, by the end of the summer, I'm like, I got to fucking move, man. And I'm like looking at places, even though I like my place.
Yeah.
9 months out of the year, I love everything about my place. And in those 3 months, I'm like, fuck you. You're Satan's butthole. Like,
Yeah.
So this year, the reason
why
why
sweaty naked guy's yelling in his house again.
Yeah, I know. My theory is the reason why my house is heating up so much is I have these windows above in my loft that face the west, which west is where the sun sets.
Well, isn't that what Valdez was going to help you with last week?
Valdez did help me with, he told me I could probably take a ladder from here, which I did. And he strapped it down to my car. On the roof of my car in a very good way. I tried to do the same way and bring it back. I didn't do it as well and almost had the ladder fly off my car.
Bro, next time let me know I can help you.
Nah, dude. I did it myself.
We're all been trying to tell him. We're like, dude, don't do this alone.
No, fuck that. I'm a man. Right? Men do what men do. All right. And men do
cause accidents on the highway.
Okay. So I have this like this rigged system. I went to Home Depot. I asked for installation, like foam installation. The Home Depot guys looked at me like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm like, you're right, but I'm still doing it. And so when I have a bad idea, I go through it all the way through. So I grab this foam and then I slice it with a box cutter and it's all uneven and not necessarily like measured correctly, but whatever. I force it in there and I kind of block out my windows above with a little foam installation, and it's been working. And yeah, so it doesn't look the best, but I don't even care at this point. When I turn on my AC and I want it to get to like 78, it gets to 78 and it stays at 78. And I'm just like, bam.
Is that what you like to keep it set to?
No, I like to treat myself. But right now,
like a meat locker.
I'm being frugal, and that's cool.
It is cool.
Tip.
Yeah.
It's cool to save money.
It is. I know.
No, it seriously is. I feel like that's the biggest advice people give you, like, you know, when you're young.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense until you start getting older and you're like, well.
Should have invested in fart coin.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
Oh, well.
All right, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have the show for today. We're going to give you a beef tip on the podcast broadcast stream, so you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue to give away wristbands for the Pima County Fair, plus a 4-pack of tickets for your Tucson Roadrunners. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. All right, so I do have a beef tip where the mathematical formula for a truly joyful day, right? Letting on a positive note, right?
Yeah.
What's the mathematic formula for a truly joyful day? If you were to have a joyful day, what do you need to do throughout that day to make it truly joyful, Rico?
Work out, take walks, breathe correctly, eat nutritiously.
How do you breathe incorrectly?
With your mouth. You have to breathe through your nasal pass. It's actually good for your...
Okay, that's good.
And I'm bad at it.
Okay. Oh, what about you, Kendall?
Sleeping in.
Okay.
Waking up on my own terms. Big breakfast. Long walk.
Right.
Doing nothing the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Disconnection from technology.
You had me at
nature.
Doing nothing. You lost me everything leading up to that. All right. What do you say, Chrissy?
I think a lot of it, I mean, I need to get a good night's sleep. I love yoga. So, like, doing anything yoga, move my body is great. Meditating.
You've been doing all that a lot too, right? Because you've been looking great, by the way. Like physically, like in shape, great. I mean, you look great before, but I'm just like, you are in like peak shape right now.
I got my yoga teacher training last summer. So, and that was a big thing, you know?
I knew it was something.
A lot of work.
Right. Yeah. Because it's just like, you like fit. I'm like, damn, she's like athletic right now, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But not burly. Right?
Not burly.
Okay.
Flexible. Very flexible.
Well, I mean, that's just hot. All right. So here, okay, you got me.
Do they have hot box yoga yet? Like weed and yoga?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of weed yoga events going on, but Hotbox would bring it to a totally
like
different
room,
level.
like the steam.
Especially because, there's already hot yoga. So,
Hotbox yoga.
Well, real quick.
You're welcome.
So, you're doing a hotboxing tent. So,
we
so you can go there and get stoned without even getting stoned. You just walk into the tent.
Yeah. It's like the lazy man's way to get high. You just walk in.
Yeah. And then just breathe it in. So it's just going to be pumping in just tons of flower smoke right into that tent, and you just stand in there for as long. What do you recommend as far as how long you're going to stay in that tent?
Someone like me, maybe a couple minutes.
Someone like Rico.
Oh,
10
Rico.
seconds.
Yeah, all different, you know. I mean, that's the thing with weed is it's all different. It affects everybody so differently.
I know. It terrifies. So Friday, I'm going to be going to the fair. I know I'm going to bump into listeners who partake, right? I make this mistake every time because my image is that of like party boy, stoner, or whatever.
Right.
And I partake for sure, but I'm very frugal and conservative within. I'm very much a lightweight, right? I'm not the stoner that I was in high school. And every time someone's like, hey, you want to hit this? It's almost disrespectful to say no. You know what I mean? It's like a show of love and endearment, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So I always say yes, and I always instantly regret it. Always.
Especially when they want to do the dab.
Yes.
I'm just like, no, not the dab.
I can't say no, and because I feel like I would personally offend them, and I hit it, and then I'm just like, oh my God, and then have to strap in and probably make an ass of myself and go do a stage announcement. And yeah, so that's what's gonna happen on Friday.
Slippery slope, yeah.
Imagine being Tommy Chong though. Like everybody's like, you want to smoke a joint with me right now?
No,
everywhere you go.
I had the same experience with Tommy Chong, where he got me high, and then I had to go to my daughter's elementary school for lunch right after, and I regretted that. And it was the fact that I didn't have a stroke in that moment from anxiety is just mind blowing. But let's give you this answer, and I'm going to end this podcast. But I do appreciate everyone sticking around for this. All right, so this is the scientific formula they came up with. Researchers analyzed how thousands of people spent their time across more than 100 activities. And then they came up with the formula that makes you truly enjoy your day and have a joyful day. First off, 6 hours with family. Seems like a lot. I mean, if I'm around my sister for 30 minutes, I'm miserable. But for most, 6 hours with family.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Plus 2 hours with friends, right? So that's up to 8 hours. 1.5 hours of extra socializing. So 9.5 hours, right? 2 hours of exercise. Rico's got that down.
Hey.
1 hour of eating and drinking, right? And then less than 6 hours of work. Okay. Also, no more than a 15-minute commute. And basically be fit, fun, and available with some relaxation and indulgence, and somehow avoid working or commuting too much. If you could do all those things, then you'll have a truly joyful day, according to science. So this is why most of us don't have truly joyful days.
How joyful are you going to be if you're trying to do all of those things? I mean, aren't you going to get this pressure?
Yeah,
like,
who is this science guy?
I didn't get my 1.5 hours of
exactly.
eating and drinking and.
I didn't even get to buy a toe off the black market today.
All right. And Todd, I invite you to be my stunt smoker of all day, both on Friday and Saturday. So if you want to be there to take the hits for me.
Oh yeah, Todd, hit me up on Tucson Doobie. I'll get you a code here. You can be Beef's
stunt toker. Yes, please. He was last time. Todd's part of the problem. He gets me too high for the first Tucson Doobie thing at the 420 Annex. MSA Annex was like, it
was a good time.
It was a great
so
time.
Great.
Yeah, I just don't talk to people.
You should wear a t-shirt that says "Do not talk to me, please." Just leave me alone.
TucsonDoobie.com. Check it out. We're gonna see you guys on the 19th at the place that was the Whistle venue.
Stop at the Whistle Stop Depot from 2 to 8.
Yeah, and which the Whistle Stop Depot looks like a really cool place. This is the outside of it. So follow Tucson Doobie on Instagram.
Show her the comment from Late to the Party. It says,
okay, what's that say?
So many people come in with that Doobie app.
Oh,
it's
nice.
a bud tender.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
yes.
See,
I love that. I love that you're a bud tender. Robert, where are you bud tending at?
Yeah.
Throw that out there as well. Tina, you could be a stand-in for me too. So many stand-ins.
Like 7 backups.
I'll take a hit.
Who's next?
And then just Homer Simpson my way out of the rotation.
Yeah.
Botanica.
Botanica. Yes. Excellent. Well, thanks again. Don't forget, we have a bunch of people stopping by the podcast broadcast the next 2 days. So we'll see you then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.